So, today I've been thinking, how much of our conflicts in life are actually self-inflicted? And self-inflicted meaning are actually caused by us. Not sort of other people doing stuff and being their fault. I'm talking about us actually arguing back, us actually causing issues, us getting involved when it's not needed to get involved, when it's none of our business. And mainly what relates to me, I guess, is arguing back. I mean, I have a bad habit of genuinely just arguing a point, even if I don't agree on the point. I'll fully just argue it, and I don't actually side with that point. And because I've got that as a habit, I get carried away and I just start arguing at any disagreement, really. And I was thinking, what would happen if I genuinely just didn't argue back, just didn't disagree with stuff? Like, what would my day-to-day look like if I genuinely just agreed? Or not even agreed, just didn't disagree. I was thinking on when people criticize you, if you just did not defend yourself, if you just didn't fight back, for me it would probably help. It would probably my life would look a bit different in terms of I wouldn't annoy as many people. And I wonder how many arguments I would have if I just settled. How many do I cause unnecessarily that either don't turn out to be anything bad, it's just a bit of banter arguing, or how many do I stop where it actually negatively impacts someone? I mean, it's interesting to think that just by one action, it could kind of just change a lot. And a lot of people's perspectives about you. Because I understand that a lot of the time I do get carried away. And there's no, when it's not necessary for me to do stuff like that, there's no consequence when I don't argue back. I'm not being bullied. I'm not trying to defend myself. I've not got anything to prove. So I can just not argue back. And it got me thinking about something else that I do, which is I'm not very good at sympathizing to people. Like, I see it as an issue and I either look at it and go, that's not really that much of an issue, or, well, you don't need to sort of keep repeating how shit of a situation it is, because we all know, it can be an unspoken thing, especially in the moment of it. And I think what would happen if I did try to sympathise, I did see these scenarios as bad. If I almost agreed, rather than, because for me, it doesn't really affect me necessarily. It doesn't affect me where I go, oh, it's getting me down fully. when people complain, say you're in an environment and something bad's happening. So let's say you're outside, it starts chucking it down, you've got no coat, and everyone's moaning that it's raining, and they keep repeating it constantly, and everyone's not in a good mood. I would show no sympathy there, because I'd be like, well, it's kind of our fault for not checking the weather, not bringing a coat, or it's not that bad, we can just go stand inside somewhere, or it's our fault for not bringing an umbrella, it's our fault for not being prepared, or it's only rain, it's not actually that bad. Those are sort of the replies that I would have in that situation, which offers no sympathy at all, which some people need a bit of sympathy and would like a bit of sympathy. And I was thinking today, what would actually happen if I did sympathise in that situation, if I tried to? Because I think I actually have a problem with knowing the ability of how to sympathise. But what if I did just accept and did just agree with everyone and be like, yeah, it is a rubbish situation to be in? Like, how would other people feel about that? Because it's such a micro adjustment for me, and maybe a major adjustment for other people around me to make them feel better, that I probably should just make that micro adjustment so it doesn't matter that much to me. And I wonder how many other compromises or micro adjustments you could make in your life to better for the better of other people, to improve other people's lives. Obviously your loved ones, I'm not necessarily talking about random strangers, but your loved ones, to improve your relationships with people. What micro adjustments do they actually want you to make that you don't really care about, that don't really matter to you, but are just habits of yours? And I wonder if we all just did these micro adjustments, would we get less annoyed? Would we have less arguments? Because, I mean, I don't have major arguments, don't get me wrong, but the little bickering that I do, it's over absolutely nothing. And I wonder its value. But then again, I think about the seriousness of it all, and I think, well, it's not that deep. You don't have to think about life necessarily that deep. Just be who you are. And, at the end of the day, if that's who I am, that's who I am. And if that's something I enjoy, and that's just a habit that I have, that I don't necessarily see as bad, why not just be you? They're the two sort of sides of the coin that I do think about. Because, I don't know, because most of the time I feel so good, I try and put my attention onto others. The keyword try. I'm not this bloody saint at all. I am naturally, I'd say, well, maybe not naturally selfish, but I instinctively think about myself. So a lot of the time I am trying to, make it better for others and stuff like that. So that's just where I was sort of thinking today. Because I guess you don't really realise the small little impacts that you have on people in a positive and a negative way. Do you know what I mean? I was also thinking today how lucky I am to not be around people that drain you. And I've talked about this before, but it makes a complete difference when you've not got to focus on other people draining you. When your attention and energy can stay within you and can stay on your own problems, or you can sort of recharge your energy and help other people. I couldn't imagine a situation where you're in toxic relationships or you have toxic friends and family. you know, I've not got that, luckily. And again, how much of it is you that causes that toxicity? You know, it's one of those things. If everyone around you is toxic, or you think everyone around you is toxic, a lot of the time it can probably be you. Could probably be you that's the actual toxic one. You know, you can be the one that actually causes what your life's like. You know, and you underestimate, Jesus, can't speak. You underestimate how much power you actually have of your environment and other people's behaviors. But onto the note of, you know what I mean? I don't have to worry about losing energy here, and here, because I've got to sort stuff out. Because I've got to listen to this, listen to that, or whatever. I haven't got to be drained. And it makes a huge difference on your energy levels and just your everyday problems, because life's going to throw problems at you no matter what. That's, you know, it's kind of what life's here to do. It naturally just throws its problems at you. So you want to minimize, in my head, I think I want to minimize as many other sources of problems that I can control. And if I can control how I react to other people that might cause them to be dramatic or toxic or negative, you know, I'm trying to work efficiently and either remove the people or remove how they act or remove how I respond. It's just little things I think about on sort of, how would I sum it up? Efficiently living, I guess. Trying my best. I don't know the way. I don't know how to be. So, you know, I don't know if you notice when I'm speaking, they're not really assurances. They're not really guarantees. I'm not saying this is this black and white, solid as it is. It's like these are why the thoughts. I'm just chucking ideas out there, because ideas just get chucked into my head. And I think, well, let's think about them, because you never know. For me, I never know what a thought could actually lead into. A little realization, like a bit today, like, oh, well, actually, you know, if you paid more attention to how you are, it's a lot easier than having to change other people. You know, you can regulate that. Too much of you pleasing others and stuff like that can be bad for you, but sometimes if you are the one that can change something and it doesn't actually affect you and you don't actually care, might as well change. Not saying I'm going to change all that, but other people might want me to stop the arguments. Not major arguments, little bickers, I'd say. But yeah, at the gym now, so peace.